My name is, and I am the Vice President of Student Affairs at Loyola University New Orleans. Welcome to the Student Affairs Zoom panel session for students, parents, and families. My team and I are happy to be with you today, and we hope that you and your loved ones are enjoying the summer months. Before we get started with the panel, I'd like to outline a few Zoom rules for you. Out of respect for the panelists and the desire to share as much information as possible, all participants, except our panelists, will remain muted with cameras off. Participants will be able to ask questions via the Q&A function. Panelists will answer as many questions as possible in the time allotted. And as a follow-up, participants will receive an email with a link to the recording and name and contact information for each panelist in case there are further questions. The recording will be housed on the Student Affairs website. Please note that this panel session is being recorded and will be posted on our website. As such, for the privacy of your student, please refrain from sharing identifiable information about any student. Thanks so much for cooperation. I want to briefly share a few points to set the foundation for our time together. My colleagues and I are excited and hopeful about starting the semester to welcome students and engage in meaningful ways. We are mindful of the impact of the pandemic on students' emotional, educational, and social development, and we've worked hard for the past 2 years to ensure we are proactive in providing supplemental support and high engagement, given some of the developmental gaps that we've witnessed. Just remember that you are never alone in this journey. You will meet several campus partners who work tirelessly to ensure students' success. Please lean in with us before crises occur so that we can take incremental actions to address concerns. We're here. For our panel this afternoon, each department representative will share a few minutes worth of information regarding their area, and then we'll kick off our question and answer time for this presentation. First, I'd like to introduce Dr. Dale O'Neill, Assistant Vice President, Student Life and Ministry. Dale?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. Like Dr. Bork said, my name is Dale O'Neill. I oversee Student Life and Ministry here at Loyola. And in my role, you should have been hearing from me, or you will be hearing from me a lot more, because within my role, I oversee new student programs here at Loyola. So if you have any questions or concerns about the transition to college, please email our department. If we do not know the answer, we will get the answer for you. So on the student life side, we have about over 100 student organizations on campus. So there's no reason why anyone should ever be bored. They can go to our website and see the long list of student orgs that we have available on campus. Students can learn about the mission, what kind of events they throw, and then if they're interested, they can contact their president to get involved. If for some reason they go through that 100 list of orgs and do not see anything that they like, they can actually create their own organization. All they need is 5 members, a constitution, and an advisor. And so we have first years and make new student organizations all the time. A couple of years ago, we had a group of first years make a DJ club, which was very popular. We host on-campus events throughout the year, all obviously free to students. There's something every single night that is fun and engaging. We also oversee Fraternity and Sorority Life. We have about 14 chapters of Greek life on campus. We also oversee campus rec and club sports. So if anyone is interested in intramurals like basketball or volleyball, or maybe join a club sport team, they come to our office for that. We have sailing as a club sport team, rugby, We have a K-pop dance team, a majorette dance team, so lots of club sports team to choose from. We also oversee commuter initiatives. So if your student is commuting onto campus, we want to make sure that they are engaged and have the support needed. So we provide different initiatives to meet specifically commuter student need. And then also new student programs, we oversee that. And then on the ministry side, we have Ignatian Life Communities, which are small faith sharing groups, about 5 to 8 students that meet weekly to discuss their faith. We have numerous retreats, and we do have a first year retreat occurring on the first Saturday in September. So I definitely recommend incoming students attend that. It's a great way to meet other first year students. We have different worship opportunities on campus for students to participate in. We also have partnerships with various faith communities off campus. So if you or your student is not Catholic, but want to continue growing in their faith, we can connect them with different places of worship in the city or different communities of worship on campus. And then we also oversee community service programs. We have weekly Saturday opportunities for students to serve in the New Orleans community. And then last but not least, we oversee our food pantry on campus called Iggy's Cupboard, which provides perishable, non-perishable food to students, as well as toiletries and school supplies. So there's lots of different fun ways for students to get engaged with our office. If any student or parent has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to pass it on over to Charlie, who oversees our dining services on campus.
Thank you, Dale. I'm Charlie Casual. I'm with Loyola Dining at Sodexo. We're getting excited to have the Wolfpack students arriving on campus in the fall. We have 5 retail locations, Starbucks, including direct mobile ordering, Smoothie King, Subway, Wild Blue Sushi, and our newest concept, Bird and Brine. Our Loyola Market is well-stocked convenience store for any student to have access to a quick snack, pint of ice cream, some chips and dip, or any other dorm room necessities. Students can stop by the community coffee corner to grab a quick iced coffee, cappuccino, or a cup of freshly brewed seasoned coffee. The BAC on Broadway campus is another fully stocked convenience store with a proudly brewed Starbucks and features Crafted by Craig. One of our chefs is over there whipping up culinary masterpieces for lunch, and they can use a meal plan at that location. The Orleans room is open 7 days a week, and our dining hall offers 10 different food options from pizza, soup and salad, fully stocked deli bar, grill station, featuring our signature handmade smash burgers, a build your own smoothie bowl, 2 cook to order chef stations, and our classic station, which features comfort food made from scratch. In the Orleans room, you also find 2 stations that focus on those with special dietary needs, Simple Serving and the Simple Zone. Both locations are designed to eliminate the 7 major allergens. We also have a regional dietitian and our executive chef who's also there to help with any other dietary needs. Our dining team hosts many special events each month, ranging from food holidays, farmers markets, theme events, and special giveaways. Before the students head to campus, we do encourage them to download their Everyday app by Sodexo for access to all mobile ordering and dining updates. Thank you, and we look forward to feeding the pack. I'm going to pass along to Chris Rice.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Rice, and I am the Director of Residential Life. I am very excited to welcome all of your students who are living on campus into the residence halls. Residential Life oversees the overall operations and functions of the residence halls. Our 5 residence halls are Beaver Hall, which is community bathrooms for first-year students. Buddick Hall, which is suite style bathrooms, so 2 rooms with an adjoining bathroom between. That is for first-year students in themed living communities and upperclassmen. Francis Family Hall, which is suite style and apartment style for upperclassmen students. Cabra Hall on our Broadway campus, which is apartment style for upperclassmen students, and Founders Hall, which is single suites for upperclassmen students. Upperclassmen students will get to select their residence halls through our room selection process, which occurs in March. The Residential Life overall mission is to really support your students' success in the classroom and out of the classroom, personally and academically. We do this by having student staff, resident assistants who are designed to help and support your students as they live on the floor by building community, providing resources, and also directing your students to the appropriate offices. Each residential area has a professional staff member, our community directors, who oversee the resident assistants and can also assist your students. Their offices are going to be on the first floor of each building. And then finally, we have a central office team that includes myself, an associate director of residential life, an associate director of operations, and our office manager. We are committed to assisting your student in any way possible. So if you need anything, please reach out to any one of my staff members. In addition to all the support we'll provide, we're also going to do some educational programming through our residential curriculum. This is programming that occurs within the residence halls and the communities that is designed to help students explore their self, their values, develop developmental skills, and understand civility. Ultimately, have your students look out for those programs. We'll have lots of opportunities for them to engage and build community within the residence halls. We also have employment opportunities for your students should they want to work where they live. We'll be looking for office assistants, desk assistants, and facility interns. We accept budget and work study positions for all of those candidates for all those positions. And then if your student wants to be a resident assistant, that process for the following year takes place in February and March. And some general questions we get as people prepare for move-in is, one, be prepared for the weather. It could be hot and muggy, or it could be raining, and so you want to dress appropriately. Your student will receive in their assignment letter a time to sign up, so please make sure they've gone to the Sign Up Genius survey and signed up for their move-in time. If you need to mail anything, please, we can take mail after August 1st, and we've sent emails with the addresses and the appropriate information on how to get it to us, but we do limit each student to 2 large boxes. Next, we will be renting bins during move-in, and those will be on a first-come, first-served basis, so you may want to bring your own, as those do go fast, but we'll get them out as quickly as we can. And then finally, with all of your students received a move-in list that has to get completed before they're allowed to move in. And we're asking students to get that done by August 1st. This is things such as clearing your bill, getting your immunizations in, and being registered for classes. So we'll help you if you're having issues, but after August 1st, if that hasn't been cleared, you'll go through a separate move-in process for us to clear you. I'm really looking forward to welcoming you to campus, and we're here to support and help your students in any ways. I'm now going to turn it over to Dallas.
Hello, my name is Dallas Flint, and I'm the Director of Student Conduct. I am responsible for managing misconduct and policy violations listed in our student code of conduct. The conduct process is an important element of education outside the classroom. And when students violate policies, our goal is to promote personal accountability and resolve misconduct in a way that is fair, developmental, and educational. So what does that look like? During the next few years, if your student may violate one or more of our policies, such as underage drinking or having a prohibited item in their room, then we may schedule a meeting or a hearing with your student to resolve the incident. And if they're found responsible, we'll assign sanctions and connect students to support and resources. We want our students to have the opportunity to reflect and learn from their choices, and in doing so, hopefully gain a greater perspective of their role as a contributing member of the community. Lastly, if your student is a victim or wants to file a complaint, students may report violations of the code by submitting a form on the Student Conduct website. Thank you. Next up, we have Dawn.
Hi, good morning. So my name is Dawn Broussard, and I am the university's Title IX coordinator and Deputy Chief Student Affairs Officer. Loyola is committed to providing an educational environment and workplace that is safe and welcoming for all of our community members, which includes a community free from sexual violence and sex discrimination. I am responsible for ensuring that all instances of sexual violence and sex discrimination within our university community are addressed in compliance with the U.S. Department of Education's Title IX regulations. It is my duty to respond to all complaints of potential sexual violence or sex discrimination within the university's education programs and activities. I oversee the Title IX investigation and resolution process on our campus, and I'm also responsible for ensuring all faculty, staff, and students are aware of how they can report incidents of sexual violence and sex discrimination. Loyola University's Title IX sexual misconduct policy can be found on our Title IX website at title9.loyola.edu, which I will link in the chat. This policy also outlines behaviors prohibited under Title IX, as well as the processes available for addressing possible violations of this policy. The policy also includes information regarding the supportive measures, resources, and services available to students who are involved in a Title IX process. Students and parents may report Title IX concerns using our online report form, which is linked in the Title IX website, or by contacting me by phone, email, or visiting my office, which is located in the second floor of the Dana Center. I will also include that information in the chat. Thank you. And now I will pass it over to Dr. Davis.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Dymphna Davis, the Director of Counseling and Health Services. Our top priority is ensuring your students are happy, safe, and well cared for. To achieve this, we offer two main services. First, the University Counseling Center is located on the second floor of the Dana Center. We provide individual counseling and case management services to all Loyola students. If your student requires psychiatric care, please schedule a virtual case management appointment with us over the summer so that we can help them find services within the community before they arrive on campus. I'll put that contact information for the University Counseling Center in the chat. Secondly, we have the Student Health Center, which is located on the bottom of the Dana Center. This is an Ochsner Hospital clinic. This clinic provides professional medical health services to the campus community. We take the well-being of our students very seriously, and I have a few recommendations for you to consider. Loyola University offers access to student health insurance coverage through our partners at the Student Health. The student health insurance fee is automatically included in your tuition bill, but you can choose to opt out of the health plan if you already have comparable coverage. I recommend keeping the student health insurance plan because it offers high quality coverage and a low deductible, and you can use the Student Health Center without copay. If you want more information about this plan or need help opting out, please visit the Health and Counseling section on Loyola University's website and click the Student Health Insurance tab. Finally, I want you to take a moment to consider if your student requires any additional assistance. Do they have academic accommodations? Are they familiar with scheduling doctor's appointments? Do you anticipate your student needing help in any of these areas? Please feel free to contact our office so we can help develop a comprehensive plan to help aid them if they need assistance with any of those things. All right, thank you. I'll pass it on over to Maury so we can hear about the wonderful things in the bookstore.
Hello, my name is Mari, and I'm the manager of the Loyola Bookstore. The top things to know about the bookstore. First, we contribute to the academic success of students by having new, used, and electronic textbooks for our students based upon what the instructors order. We help to keep the price of educational material down by allowing students to rent textbooks, and we also price match to Amazon to give the best price to the students. We recommend students to rent as many books as possible. Second, we foster a source of belonging in the campus community by having swag. We have t-shirts, hoodies, other apparel, and gift items, as well as school supplies with Loyola New Orleans branding that helps support and bond our community. Third, we have a website to order your textbooks. Students can shop in store, but why wait? Start ordering for in-store pickup or home and residence hall delivery on or after August 1st. Mark your calendar now and make sure you have your class schedule handy. You can either go to the Bookstore website, which I will post after I speak, or you can do a search through Loyola's website to get to the bookstore. Also, order your swag through our website, sign up for emails to get the latest and personalized promotions. And finally, follow us on Instagram. Want to know what's new for you in the bookstore? Instagram. Want to know our refund period and rental textbooks are due? Instagram. Want to know what's on sale in the bookstore? Instagram. See a trend? Check us out on Instagram. And now I'll hand you over to Damali Thomas, the Assistant Athletic Director.
Hi, Mari. Thank you. My name is Damali Thomas, and I'm the Assistant Athletic Director here at Loyola. So I'll give you a brief rundown of our athletics department as well as our university sports complex. So for the sports complex, students are able to use all of our equipment and items that we have in the gym. For them to enter the sports complex, they will just need to show their Loyola student ID. I know we've had a few times where students forget IDs, and we usually would just follow up with showing proof of their Loyola email address. We do have cardio equipment, strength training equipment. We offer Group X and personal fitness classes that we're hoping to expand on this year. This past year, we offered yoga and some other weighted kind of smaller Group X classes. We have our swimming pool, racquetball courts, and basketball courts. Students are able to come in and reserve these courts if they'd like, or just come in and use them if they're open. We do post our team practice schedules and any other facility rentals on our app, which we can inform students of when they come in so that they can check the schedule ahead of time. We also do post these schedules through signage throughout the gym so that they're aware and they can take photos of it as far as the weight room so that they don't come and can't use equipment during that time. But we do try to promote that so everyone's aware of when they can come in and things will be open. Our athletic side offers 20 sports. Men's and women's cross country, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, men's and women's swim, competitive cheer and dance, baseball, men's and women's tennis, men's and women's golf, indoor and outdoor track and field for men and women. And we also have just recently added 2 new sports, beach volleyball and esports, which are now competitively playing for the department. If you do have a student that is interested in intercollegiate athletics, we do encourage them to fill out the recruit questionnaires that are held on our website, loyolawolfpack.com. I will add that link to the chat so you can have it. We do encourage if anyone is interested in playing or receiving more information, they can fill out those recruit questionnaires and coaches will be able to reach out to them and send them any sort of information they might need. We have come off one of our most successful years. Both our men's and women's teams have done extremely well for basketball. Men actually won conference championship and we hosted the NAI basketball opening round here for men and women this past year. Women's golf finished 14th in the NAI national tournament, and our women's tennis team appeared in the tournament this year as well. And baseball finished ranked 23rd in the nation. We also have a Hall of Fame room that is a new addition, and our hydrotherapy tubs. Students are able to use that. We just have them sign in for awareness so we can know who was in the tub and who used it. The Hall of Fame room can be used for other extracurricular activities or groups on campus. We do ask that they just reach out to me and reserve the space so that we can properly block it off to ensure that they have it for the amount of time they need. We also do host on specific game days like homecoming. If we have an alumni events, that space will be open and usable for any groups that may want to host. We do offer student employment positions, both work study and non-work study. We have customer service assistants who man and help the front desk area, building managers, lifeguards, and we also offer game day staff opportunities. So if anyone's interested in working our home athletic events, they can reach out to me to get more information on that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, team. That was valuable and helpful and detailed information. So really appreciate that. So our Q&A will open up now, and it looks like we've been fairly busy already, both on chat and Q&A. So if you were as a participant listening to our panelists, I'll just catch you up a little bit on what's been happening in the chat and the Q&A. So participants, if you look over at the webinar chat, you'll see quite a few links, phone numbers, hashtags, and other information that might be helpful for you to refer back to in the future. So if you want to bookmark those or note those, that could be super helpful. And then we'll go to our Q&A. And it looks like we've had about 11 questions, or maybe a few more included that were answered both live and while typing. So it looks like we've got information in the Q&A about our first year retreat, about moving furniture in the residence halls. It looks like guests at move-in information is provided. Similar questions about furniture in the residence halls, moving in to the residence halls, and then information about the streetcar and whether or not there is a student discount. I noticed that our streetcar was called a trolley in the Q&A, but that's just semantics down here in New Orleans. We call them streetcars. Then we also received questions about Amazon. How do we receive Amazon packages and where to pick them up? Fraternity and sorority life, joining and recruitment information. And then our new e-scooter rental program was also noted in the Q&A. So you can take a look at the answered question there and see all of that good information. We do have a question that has not been answered yet. If we paid for the insurance through the tuition and fees, how do we proceed after it is paid for in full? So the insurance company will contact you with next steps, which would include being able to receive a copy of your card, your insurance card, provider list, and other details related to the insurance. So you will receive instructions about how best to proceed from the insurance company directly. Another question for move-in day: if arriving by Uber, what is the address for arrival? Chris, can you help with that one?
Yeah, so we're going to be emailing your student a move-in day map with directions on where to come. For those driving, you're going to come off Freret Street onto West Road to our check-in station. If you're coming in through an Uber, taxi, or other share ride option, we're going to ask that you come in off of St. Charles Street, get unloaded outside of the West Road garage, and then you'll walk to our check-in station. So to keep your Uber and ride share from having to sit through a check-in line and get delayed, we're going to have you come in the opposite direction.
Great, thank you, Chris. If we paid for parking, will we receive information about where to park student car? Chris, can you help with that one?
Yeah, so students are able to park in the West Road garage and in the Freret Street garage. I would just advise they be cognizant of the signs that are up so they don't park in any reserved parking spots. And then make sure they're parking between the lines of the spaces.
Perfect. And Chris, we've got a question about obtaining student ID. Can you help with that one too?
Yeah, of course. So students will be able to get their IDs during move-in from LUPD. So LUPD will typically be open from 9 to 4:30 during move-in days. So after you get settled, I would suggest getting your student to take the 5 to 10 minutes to go pick up their ID, so that as their meal plan and access to the building will be tied for that. Remind students also to follow up with the instructions provided by admissions on how to submit your ID photo so that they can get those IDs printed for you.
Great, thank you so much. There's also a question about bike placement. We have several bike racks, both on our main campus and on our Broadway campus. So yes, there are several bike racks for students that are strategically placed throughout physical campus for students to place their bikes. Just make sure to bring a U-Lock, and then I believe our LUPD, our University Public Safety Police Department, has bicycle engraving that could also be helpful for making sure that your bicycle can be identified. Charlie, can you share when food services will be available?
Absolutely. Our retail locations, the Subway, Smoothie King, Starbucks, Bird and Brine, Wabaloo Sushi, and the C-Store Market, they will all be opening up on Monday. Look at the exact date here, sorry. On Monday the 14th, and your meal plans will begin on Thursday the 17th. And their hours of operations are located on our website.
Great, thank you, Charlie. First years cannot have cars on campus, correct? Chris, can you help with that one?
Yeah, so first year students can have cars on campus. They would need to purchase their parking permit through LUPD. So that restriction is not in place anymore. So yeah, they can bring them.
Great, and I'm going to volley this one to you too. Where do we park if our student will be moving into Budig?
Yeah, so all of our unloading zones are going to go out of Westward Garage due to some construction with the building of the new residence hall. We're really going to centralize it out of there. If you've done everything by August 1st to be cleared in, you'll go through an express checkout line and you'll do unloading on the first and second floor of the Westward Garage. You'll have an hour to unload your car, and then we ask you move it to an upper floor of the garage. If you haven't been cleared, we're going to have you park in the Freck Garage and come to Budig Hall too, so that we can get you cleared. We're going to do that as fast as possible, and then you'll loop back around through our check-in line to move back to the Westward Garage for unloading.
Awesome, thank you, Chris. Dale, will there be programming for parents during move-in?
I love this question. So we have a required orientation program called Wolfpack Welcome for all incoming new students. It starts the Thursday before the first day of the academic year and goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. New this year, since COVID hit, we actually have a parent track of Wolfpack Welcome. So I will put a link to our Wolfpack Welcome website in the chat, and you can go ahead and look at the parent track. The parent track will be a wealth of information for us parents. However, it's not required. However, orientation is required for your incoming student. Wolfpack Welcome is required for your incoming student. If you are a parent or caregiver and you are not able to physically be present at Wolfpack Welcome and do the parent track, I would recommend watching our online orientation modules. All incoming students, in addition to attending Wolfpack Welcome in person, must complete online orientation modules before August 14th. And I also recommend parents watching them as well. They're a wealth of information. And then in the next couple of days, we will have all of our recordings from our virtual programming on our parent event website. And so if you were unable to attend any of our previous virtual programming, I would recommend parents and students to watch those as well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dale. This next question I think would probably be best suited for Chris and Charlie. Meal plans are a certain number of meals per week. When does that renew, and how does that affect the dining halls opening on Thursday?
Yeah, so the meal plans renew every Sunday. So they'll be uploaded to your cards before you arrive. Typically, it's either the Friday or Monday before move-in. So this means that starting at that point, you'll be able to use your Wolf Bucks at our dining locations, such as the market and the other retail options that Charlie talked about. There's a lot of scheduled meals during orientation, and Dale can talk on this more if need more detail is needed. So they'll be utilizing their meal plans during that time, and then their meal plans will reset on that Sunday for the following week, the first week of classes. So they'll be utilizing those, 5, 9, 12 meals a week that they signed up for then.
Excellent. Thanks, Chris. And then I'm going to go to the similar question related to meals. If students move in on August 15th, do they just start staying on campus that night? And with the food plan, how does that work with that move-in date?
Yeah, so once they check in, we are expecting them to stay in the residence halls. So they're more than welcome to, unpack, get settled, and experience their first night on campus. And then, the Orleans room will open up that Thursday, but the other dining locations will be opened up, and they'll be able to use their Wolf Bucks at those other dining locations during that time.
Thank you, Chris. This question probably relates best to Dale and Dawn. Will a link or recording be available for the presentation given by Bonnie Shade during Wolfpack Welcome?
We do not record that presentation. However, I'm happy to include Bonnie Shade's website on if you're interested in learning more about her and her story. But we don't record any of our Wolfpack Welcome programs. If this is a parent, I will share that Dawn will be at many programs throughout Wolfpack Welcome, as well as Dallas. So if you have specific questions about our Title IX or sexual assault policy, Dawn will be available as well.
Thank you, Dale. The next question is regarding the orientation link for the Wolfpack Welcome and parent track. And so Dale went ahead and posted that in the chat for folks to take a look at. And then another meal plan question, Chris. So students have to use their 9 meals Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, those are all, sorry, my computer blipped. Okay, am I back? I apologize, everyone. Tech issues. Because those are such designated meal plans as a part of orientation, I would really kind of think of your meal plan like traditionally as really starting on that first day of class, that Sunday, because that's when that more freedom to use those 9 meals a week take into effect. During that orientation period, it's really more kind of like set meal schedule. So I would just separate it and your, kind of in your perspective of what they're doing. So it's not like they have to swipe 9 meals by that time, because it's not really taken into account that way in terms of like your overall meal plan cost.
Great, Chris, thank you. And then following up there, how do we add Wolf Bucks to a student account?
Yeah, so we are transitioning students, adding Wolfbucks to our account by using the housing director, which is our housing occupancy system, in our housing portal, where they can get a lot of information about meal plans and residential life. So they would go in and request them. We ask that they do it in $100 increments, and that'll trigger it being added to their bill, and then it'll be added to their card within 48 to 72 hours. If there's an emergent need for like money being added on cards, or a parent wants to surprise a student, or do it without their student knowing, just call us or email us at reslife@loyola.edu, and we're going to be more than happy to assist you.
Excellent. Thank you, Chris. Got some positive feedback about the job opportunities that we have available on campus. So thank you for that. And the question is there a job search website, or do we have to contact each department separately? So maybe Dale, you could give us an overview, and then the folks that do hire students, I'm thinking Damali, Charlie, Chris, maybe y'all can weigh in a little bit too.
Sure, happy to. So we have a wonderful career development center. It's located on the first floor of our library. They are a wonderful resource for students. There's career coaching, lots of different employment fairs. We also always recommend that first years visit them in their first year and not wait till their senior year to visit them. In addition, I will put in the chat their website, because they have something called Handshake, which is like an Indeed just for Loyola, where different on-campus departments will host post openings, as well as different off-campus employers will post opening as well. And our Career Development Center vets those off-campus posts to make sure that they're appropriate. So I will share a link to that. Every single person on this Zoom right now hires students. So obviously go to that centralized Handshake website, but you can also visit all of our offices. We love hiring incoming students.
Absolutely. Loyola Dining Sodexo. We're always looking for students to work. They're very popular in getting to Starbucks and Smoothie King. They get excited to do those. They can visit us at our office, which is on the second floor to the Dana Center, right off the St. Charles room. And then one of our managers will be more than happy to walk them through the application process for it. We do work around their school schedules to make sure that school is a priority for them. They can also go to Indeed and look up Sodexo at Loyola's campus, and there's some job openings on there as well.
Yeah, and as well for athletics, we do primarily use Handshake. I know that typically the past 2 years, I think that I've been here, a part of Wolfpack Welcome is if you have any students that are eligible for work study, there is a work study fair, and we usually set up a table along with other department groups. And so we'll gather their information. I will follow up with emails, letting them know that they can apply through Handshake, and as soon as that process is done, they will then follow up with student employment, complete anything they have to do with them. We do also work around student schedules. The way we schedule is kind of based off of their preferences. And then for us in athletics, since University Sports Complex is open outside of traditional hours, we do have opportunities for students to work earlier in the day, later in the day, also over breaks. If anyone is staying on campus or in the area during that time, we will have employment opportunities for them as well.
Yep. And then in residential life, if they'd like to live where they work, where they live, we have desk assistants, which are overnight hours. And then we have office assistants, which are during the day and on weekends. And so we are happy to have anyone apply. And then for our facilities interns, get to a little more flexibility on schedule, and they'll work with me directly.
Awesome. Thanks, team. Another question, are the vector trainings that are due September 15th different from the online orientation? Yes, they are different. And the email states that non-compliance will result in a registration hold, which seems after the start of classes. So the registration hold that is placed is actually for spring registration. And so it doesn't impact fall, it impacts spring registration. Another question, if students do not use all 9 meals during the week, do the remaining meals roll over into the next week? Chris?
Yeah, so the weekly meals unfortunately do not roll over into the next week. So if you have that 5, 9, or 12 meal plans, they really should try to use them during that, Sunday to Saturday period. If they have flex plans or block plans, those would be used at any point during the semester, but they would not roll over to the following semester. Your Wolf Bucks that you do will roll over to the spring semester, but on May 15th, all Wolf Bucks expire for the year.
Thank you, Chris. Chris, did you put the meal plan information link in the chat?
I'll do it right now.
Perfect. And there's a question about orientation schedule being available PDF so that it can be printed out. And Dale indicated that we'll have hard copy versions on site when you arrive to campus, but she also included the link for a PDF in case you'd like to print out a copy on your own. And then there's another question about shared services with Tulane, for example, shuttle, food, and sports facilities. Charlie, can you take us through a bit about shared dining with Tulane, please?
Absolutely. We have reciprocal dining with Tulane. Our meal plans work at their university as well. Their Commons Dining Hall is available to any student. They do have a little bit longer of a time period that they're open, so it does give them a little extra access to that meal plan. They also can use their Wolf Bucks at about 7 locations on their campus that accepts it and works fine there as well. A lot of students use it, and it's a great tool that adds a lot more dining options to their meal plan, and it can kind of branch them out a little bit for it.
Awesome, thank you. We do not share sports facilities or shuttle services with Tulane. Food is the main service that we share with Tulane. Team, am I missing anything else that you all can think of? Oh, okay, just wanted to make sure. And then Chris, can you put in the chat everything that needs to be completed for move-in, please? He's taking care of that now. All right. Health center is shared with Tulane is a question. No, we have separate student health services and university counseling centers. Tulane is a partner of one of a number of hospital entities in the city, LCMC being Tulane's partner and Ochsner Healthcare being our Loyola's partner. Our healthcare, our student health clinic is staffed and managed by the Ochsner Healthcare team. And so I would encourage you, as you are looking through the student insurance plan, to make sure that for the plan that you have, that Ochsner Healthcare is a provider on the plan. Additionally, Ochsner does accept Louisiana Medicaid. Dr. Davis, would you mind just putting the Ochsner name in the chat, please, so that folks can know what to look for on their provider list? Thank you. Great. Appreciate everyone's engagement in today's presentation. I love getting such detailed questions that we can help answer. It's really, really nice. Does Loyola have a pharmacy on campus? No, we do not have a pharmacy on campus. What we typically do, there are a couple of pharmacies that are really close proximity to the university, and there are a couple of pharmacies that also deliver to the university, one of them being the Ochsner pharmacy. And so that can be worked out between student and provider in terms of getting meds. Is there a link for the pre-departure checklist for move-in? Chris, do you have that?
It's not a specific link because it's been in your students' assignment emails. So if they will check their email, it'll come from due period, not period, reply period at loyola.edu. Because unfortunately that email can't be replied to. But it is section 5 of that email that goes through all the specifics of what needs to be done and where to do it at. If you have individual questions, email reslife@loyola.edu and my staff will be happy to assist.
Excellent. Team, anything that's come top of mind as we're talking today that you want to make sure that you share out? Okay. Looks like our questions have quieted for the moment.
I do
Yes,
have
Dawn,
one thing.
yes.
So regarding student IDs, if your student has not submitted a photo for their student ID, please make sure that they do so. We do utilize those IDs and those photos to help us in identifying students, which increases the safety on campus and allows us to contact students or know who our students are. So if you'd please make sure that they submit those photos for their student ID, we would appreciate it.
Great reminder, Dawn. Thank you. And Chris is answering a question right now related to a move out at the end of the semester. So I think that's a nice segue to go ahead and close out our presentation today. Thanks to our panelists and parents and students and caregivers for a lovely conversation, even though it was virtual. Following our panel, participants will receive an email with a link to the recording and the name and contact information for each panelist in case there are any further questions. Feel free to reach out to us at any time. And as a reminder, a recording of this session will also be housed on Loyola Student Affairs website. We strongly recommend you to watch our orientation modules. This is for parents and caregivers for more in-depth information on some of today's topics. While the modules are not required for parents like they are for students, they'll give you detailed information to become more familiar with campus. And the modules can be found at orientation.loyola.edu. While you're at that website, check out our Wolfpack Welcome Schedule to view parent-related programs that parents, caregivers can attend. We really, really look forward to welcoming you to campus in person very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your summer, take good care, and have a great rest of the week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.